has always been such a talented player. He's going to scratch that break, mind. He's really trying to forge his way through some very, very good players to take down big titles. He was in a Black Ball World Final in 2024. Didn't quite fall his weight on that occasion, but just the fact that he was in there and no one was that surprised.
Well, went to a deciding frame as well, and
yeah.
He was on the brink. So he's a really talented player, really. His biggest weakness, actually, is his temperament, and that he's actually gone a long way to sort of, that's not a big an issue as it used to be. He's such a talented cueist.
So Liam White to the table first, as for the second time in the competition, we see a White-Earnshaw partnership.
And it's a decent opening opportunity, but yellow nearest the bottom right-hand corner. That's the issue. How much room to get to it? I do think you can get to it. So it's not... Oh, we're not going to find out. Disappointing start. They've been a little fortunate here, I think. I think the yellow they missed has blocked the red. Yeah, that's a nice choice. Could have gone, you obviously could clip that in and go into the red, open that one up, but you still got the one at the bottom of the table that's a problem, and far from an easy chance. First visit of the night. Now, easy to play safe here, obviously. Clip off the red and get the cue ball back to the above the yellow, but you might leave the opportunity to just do the same. So they're going to use the other red on the other side of the table. This might progress the frame more, going this way around. And they've got the job done. Guarded against the yellows. Subtle difference, that, but it just means that you're not giving your opponent an easy response. You're asking them to do something. Really important to get that hit. Ball and hand would have been end of frame because they could have gone short side position on the only ball that's a problem now. And the fact they've got the hit and they've tied up a red at the bottom of the table, this frame just remains very much in the balance.
Just going to place that 2-ball next to the right corner pocket. He hasn't quite got it how he would have wanted, though. Just maybe an inch or two further than he would have liked. He wants to block off that yellow's path whilst also not making it freely available to take off the table. Having said that, it's not a big enough deal to lose too much sleep over it. As the Danger Mouse returns to the table on yellows.
Bit of a nothing shot, really. Not sure what else you could do in that situation, but there was nothing aggressive you could do. Obviously not going to take anything on, but I mean nothing aggressive in your safety play either. So just turning the table back over. Almost hoping that Rikki and Jake go aggressive here, because it's a much tougher layout than the first one they didn't take on. I'd be surprised if they do go, but maybe they are. Or is this a loss of turn at the bottom coming up?
It would be very brave.
Yeah, so it looks like they're potting one to then play the loss of turn, because it opens up their red. So they've got to be careful here, because it opens up the yellows as well.
Loss of turn.
See, there's only one bad yellow now on the table, the same as only one bad red. So it's a risky choice.
And there's a difficult pot that is available. And the yellow that's bad, the one the next to now, is breakoutable.
Yeah.
If that is a word.
I think if the yellow goes to top left, I think you take it on. Because you've got there's no good safety. Or does this go into the middle? Oh, doesn't. So they're playing safe.
Yeah, don't mind that. Charlie at the table. Mum and Dad in the arena watching on as well. Difficult one for notorious Rikki Jones to deal with. But he's just going to try and contain and try and force Liam White to play the yellow off the bottom rail.
Yeah, it's a really interesting battle, this. It felt like Reds have been closer all the way through, and you still feel like that, but it is tight. There's an argument to go here. There's an argument to go because it's a pretty routine breakout. Got the one over top right, gets you on the one left centre if you want it, but it's the one that goes to bottom right that you can play a breakout with. So there's definitely an argument to go. Will you get a better opportunity if you don't take this on? Don't want to be absolutely straight here. You want to be able to pull back to the middle of the table. Basically, you want to be able to see just enough to pot it. Is that too much? That's okay. It's okay. As long as you don't overhit this, I think you catch the yellow.
Doesn't want, that's the key, isn't it? Not to overhit it. Just wants to fall into that yellow. Wants to bounce. That might have landed about as awkwardly as it could have.
He played that with an awful lot of side so that when it hits the cushion, it checks up. If he'd put the other side on it, it would have hit the cushion and gone the other way. It would have created more separation. They got a slight problem here. No, more than a slight problem. Look at this.
Yeah, that was seriously tough. You could see there was no real path through there. And all of a sudden, this first frame is going to open up on yellows. And it's increasingly easy to be wise after the event when you're watching a frame like this. But I did wonder if the pair that went second, so to speak, was always going to be the one with the advantage in this frame.
Yes, that often is the case, but if you're talking about the tactical side of this game, I think that was the right time for Rikki and Jake to go. I think Rikki pulled the cue ball back a couple of rolls too far, and it just compromised the control on the breakout just a touch. But you couldn't risk not going back far enough. Worst case, you snooker yourself on that ball. So you just overdid it a fraction, and then obviously Jake didn't quite get the breakout right. I did note a couple of shots ago for Charlie. When he contained, he put the yellow onto the cushion off the 8-ball. And I wondered whether that would come back to bite them, and it might. If you keep that yellow in the middle of the table, this is routine.
I think Liam's telling him if he wants to go for it.
Take it now.
You may not land better on it than right now.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I do. I really do.
Guaranteed to be on your next ball, but it is a big old shot to play.
Yeah. Will you get better on it to bottom left than you are on it now to top left? Not if you land straight.
It's very understandable that Charlie didn't take that one on.
He's not left Liam the best of angles. He's got too much angle here. Might have to come down and play for the double.
Yeah, that grimace tells you all you need to know. It always comes down to how you see it and what you'd prefer to play. And Liam's never going to demand Charlie play a ball, especially one like that. It's just personal preference. Charlie obviously didn't like the look of it, can't blame him. But Liam says, all right, well, that was your choice. You left me with what you've left me, and I'll get you on the double. All the best.
Got him on the double nicely, though. Is this double easier than the one to top left he turned down?
that's tough.
See that all the time on that sort of shot. You know that the right centre pocket's in play when you play it like this. What an opening frame. Both partnerships will feel like they should have won it now.
But no clue as to who'll feel the better. It'll be the team that's won it. And it's going to be the team of Jake-Dylan Newlove and Rikki Jones.
I don't think they'll be too down on themselves either. They took on a finish. They played the tactical exchange well. They controlled it. They waited. They were patient. They got their opportunity. They took it on, and they were one roll away from having it work for them, and it didn't quite. So it's not one of those where you really beat yourself up about a missed opportunity. You just kind of go, oh, I didn't go my way, and move on. And they obviously still get the reward of winning the frame.
Oh, that 8 ball was flying.
This is not the layout they were hoping for after the last frame being drawn out.
Yeah, but they don't have to play the first shot, at least.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, Charlie wanted a ball and a wide open chance to go game quickly and recover. Jake actually won't mind this so much. We saw in the last that Jake was patient enough not to take it on early. I don't think he'll be overly aggressive here unless it works out for him.
Saw a shot there of our referee tonight, Mark Goff. The most technologically advanced of any of our IRO referees, nicknamed Zuck for his technical proficiency.
Jake wanted an extra 3-4 rolls on that. If he could have got onto the one right centre, he could have got onto the one at the bottom right corner, and then he could have really gone. But this is what I meant about he won't be overly aggressive. You know, he was going to... You can be aggressive with shot 1. If it doesn't land, you can then pull back. Don't go too deep too early. Jake's just got to clip off this, make sure you hit the cushion. He wants the red still to be able to go after playing this shot, which I think it does. Wasn't too concerned about the yellow because it was well guarded anyway.
Pretty good shot from Charlie. It's the one thing that, and it's a thing that all young players will experience, no matter how good they are at taking the balls and the patterns and all the rest of it, and some players are so naturally gifted. But this side of the game, this sort of safety, tactical element, you only ever benefit from experience. And this is a tester for young Charlie Earnshaw against a player as seasoned as the Butcher.
Yeah, especially as he's got Jake playing the right shots. If Jake can pot the one to left centre, he'll be tempted here. Well, he'll be more than tempted, he'll go. Because they're all on.
I think Charlie had a little look at that line before he left the table. He will have known that was on. It's an excellent pot from Jake, and he's on his next ball. Chance.
Really wanted to be on the one nearest the bottom right corner pocket. And he is. Major mistake here for Jake not to win this frame now. He's been very good on this tactical exchange.
Yeah, he has. And that noise you just heard, and I don't doubt that you heard it, it heralds the beginning of the 15-second shot clock. It was all about cue ball control for Jake-Dylan Newlove as soon as he came to the table with a chance to go game. I tell you what, he has had it on a string, hasn't he? Very well executed from the butcher. And he rolls in that 8-ball with perfect roll technology to go 2-0 in front. And a very, very solid start from the Yorkshireman.
Just a great all-round player. He really is very solid.
Former international teammate of yours, I do believe, Si.
You do like an opportunity to mention...
Well, I know you won't. You're far too humble for that. But
last time I played with him, he was the player of the tournament. He was absolutely unbelievable. I think he dropped one frame in about 5 days. It was incredible.
Jimmy Croxton in the house, and also, there on his right, Teddy White and Lucas Earnshaw, the two superstars of the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup, keeping an eye on their older relatives and see if they can live up to the hype.
Well, just under 4 minutes to play here, and Liam's got ball in hand and a wide open chance. Take 2 minutes off the clock here for a reverse clearance. They will have time to tie things up in the next, but Liam has to make sure here, but this is a chance that he'd have been hoping for. It's as good as it gets, really.
And the Danger Mouse can fly. He does hold the Ultimate Pool record for a reverse clearance.
That's an interesting decision. I thought he was going to play on the one on the cushion there. Would just drop that in right centre, get on the one on the cushion and nip it out, and then it's a kind of clean. Obviously had a reason for wanting to go this way round. Not going to question his patterns, though.
Yeah, not the biggest Liam, and he had to reach for that. He did well to get the action he got on the cue ball. Causes extension. And in Liam's own words, his little legs are holding him back here.
It's caused him a problem. He's going to have to really hit a good one next.
Yeah, at least he'll be able to reach this, mind. All goes wrong for Liam White, and that was a very decent chance to get his partnership back in the frame, and indeed in the match.
Yeah, he just left himself stretching, and it caused all the problems. He will have expected to clear those up, and if he did, he would have been 2 minutes left on the clock, and then we're into the Scotch frame when they've got the break. Now Rikki can just torture them here. Just pot a few balls at using your full clock, wait for the beeps.
He's had good runs in pairs competitions as Rikki Jones. He and Jordan Shepherd did very, very well in the pairs last year. Looked good with Savannah Lowe as well in the mixed pairs towards the back end of the 2024 season. Very, very solid competitor.
Just hasn't really happened for him since he sort of made the step up. Takes time though to adjust. You're playing against just great players. There's no let off. Even in the Challenger Series, you might have a match here and there where your opponents don't quite play as well, and you just don't get that in the pro level.
Yeah, in the words of one Ultimate Pool pro who will remain anonymous, the difference between the two is you just have to get used to playing machines every single time you break off.
Well, Ricky's gone fairly quickly about this, so he's just got to make sure. Because, well, what's he going to take the full? So he's going to 35. He might leave 25 seconds and the golden break's in play if he was to miss the next ball. Yeah, he could leave 20. I mean, he's not. I mean, this is exactly where you want to be. I'd have it chalked if I was Liam, just in case, because you'd 3 balls in 20 seconds. Not now.
Yeah, he's taking these out really well. He can't make it a buzzer beater, but in reality, 3 frames in, what, 7 seconds just isn't going to happen. Very, very nice frame, that from Rikki Jones. We will end with 7 seconds on the clock. There will be another break. It is all but academic now, though, with the difference at 3 frames. And Liam White and Charlie Earnshaw know it.
Yeah, it's tough. They've had their chances in this match. It's very different to the first match, where it felt quite even, both pairings playing well. These two just haven't quite played the level in this match that they needed to, and they know it. So they're going to have to go back and try and do it the hard way.
Liam White may well just let out a little bit of frustration here. Yeah, I thought we might see a massive break from the Danger Mouse. Absolutely sledged those. Match ends, and it's Rikki Jones and Jake-Dylan Newlove who take out the win in the Pairs Cup. Very, very solid performance from those two. They are into round 2 of the fixtures, top of the group, alongside Dave McNamara and Danny Balshaw.